We are back in action.
Woo-hoo.
Well, hey, Courtney.
Well, hey, Emily.
How's it going?
Pretty good. It's been
Good.
okay. Yeah, it's been great.
Been just okay. Well, for those tuning in, that is Courtney Holland.
And that is Emily White.
And this is That Wasn't the Plan,
That wasn't the plan at all.
your podcast about life's interesting turns and where it takes you. Yeah, today we are talking, well,
Babies, fuck them. Let me ask you this, Emily.
yeah,
Growing up as a kid,
yeah.
did you love baby dolls? Did you carry around baby dolls? Was that part of your childhood?
I guess when I was a really small child, I had a baby doll. And
Mhm.
then when Cabbage Patch Kids came into
Yeah.
play, I had two of those.
Mhm.
But I think for me, it was more the My Little Ponies.
Yeah,
I
same.
also had a number of animals,
Yeah, same.
stuffies that
Mhm.
I treasured more than anything. I remember when
same
I was
here.
a small child, and even until like I believe the sixth grade, every
Mhm.
morning I'd make my bed. And I was supposed to make my bed, so I made my bed, and then I would place all my stuffed animals by the pillows. Like my
Yes,
stuffed animals were my world. I had
absolutely.
I had this beautiful sort of uh quilted velvet mouse that I named Petunia. And she was about maybe a pound. She was
Like a beanbag?
she was a beanbag, thank you.
Yeah.
And this sort of black velvety but quilted, so different velvets on there. And I had a
I love her.
shoebox for her. She was my pet. So I from then till this day cherish animals way more than I do children.
I'm the same. I had a guinea pig. I always had a guinea pig. We started with
A real one.
yeah. Oh yeah. Calico, Sybil, Romeo, buckwheat, peanut butter, Maxwell, flour. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I loved them. I loved
Yeah.
them. And I
Yeah.
did have baby doll wise. I don't really remember, like, I didn't play house so much, but
Yeah.
when I was in kindergarten, my mom would come at the end of the day where they would let us go play with whatever we wanted. And they had musical instruments, they had paint, you could make sculptures, you could build, you could go outside and climb things. And I'm in the house, the little house area, ironing by myself. Just a giant pile of ironing clothes, and I'm like, "Oh no, it's not gonna do itself." And my mom would be like, "Courtney, what? You like this little briefcase? How about this?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't. I gotta be done by dinner time, right?
My husband's going to be home and I have to have food on the table.
It's like I love to play the put upon woman. Early on, I was like, "Oh, no time to waste."
I played the spinster. With my Barbie dolls, and this was back when Goonies had just come out, and I
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
loved that movie. But
Hell
the
yeah.
water slide scene at the end of the Goonies, I would take my Barbie and I would play water slides with her. I would put her makeup on. In our laundry room in our basement, I set up a home or Emily's salon, and I would do people's makeup this was the 80s. So they would have blue everywhere I show,
Important.
Aquanet everywhere.
Yes,
And
yes.
to this day, I still do not know how to put on makeup, so it looks good. I wanted to be this high-powered professional Barbie, awesome woman. Never once was she married or had
Yeah.
children.
Right?
Never.
Yeah, I do.
And she lived in this mansion with the water slide is bringing that full circle.
All the stuffies too with her as well.
Probably.
I remember pretending to go to college. But honestly, I don't know if my sister played with baby dolls all that much. And she's a mom.
She's only got one kid.
She's only got one. She was
Yeah.
like, we're good. But she also has a heart condition. So her fear, like a lot of moms, I'm sure, are the biggest fear is to leave her daughter motherless.
Yeah.
Like that is the scariest thing. And so she was like, I don't want to have another kid to take a chance.
So as you grew older, did you, hit puberty into that, when your hormones and everything start taking over, get into your 20s? Did you ever have a desire for children?
I never felt it, but I
Yeah.
also filled my life with all sorts of messed up, crazy, wild stuff, like, just, it wasn't a part of the plan for me, like,
Yeah.
marriage was not I mean, in my college thesis was a one person show, and it was called Marriage. And at the end of Marriage, the whole play is done me of like the woman is just alone on the bed with a man sleeping next to her, and it's like the different stages of marriage. And the first stage she's in lingerie, the second stage she's wearing less cute pajamas, and the last stage is she comes on dragging a ball and chain with a vacuum and a pots and pans and kids' toys. And yeah, so and I think I honestly can't tell you for sure if I was like, "I'm never getting married, I'm never having kids," because I wanted to be different, or if that was really my heart's desire. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So, who knows?
Yeah.
What about you?
Uh, my whole life I had said, and I was kind of really big into the environmental movement back in
Mm,
the 80s and 90s when it was
14.
during the acid rain
Oh,
scare,
right.
and, I wanted to protect the planet and all the animals, and I was like, "I don't wanna bring children into this world," and at that time, I would say this and have no idea what I was even talking about.
Right, right, of
So I
course.
got that into my head, but I never biologically had a clock that was ticking that said,
Mm-mm,
"Oh my god, babies, I wanna have babies." I have no maternal instinct whatsoever. Motherhood never really held any interest for me. I,
mhm,
look at my friends that were born to be mothers,
for
and
sure.
I'm just not built that way. It was never part of my destiny, I don't think, and I don't know that I ever really waited for that moment to happen, that
Right.
sort of explosion, if you will, and it never did, and I
Yeah.
didn't ever really care what people thought about that. I
Um,
also, kind of growing up in Los Angeles, when I say that, it's because I feel like I fully matured when I was
mhm,
in LA. I was still
mhm,
kind of a child when I went there when I was 24, and so that's kind of when I grew up, but there, I'd see people in their 40s and 50s who never had children, who were
mhm.
still going out and having fun and doing this. So I was like,
Yeah.
there's no need to really have children and feel that. So I think I just told myself it was fine because I had to justify I had to make sense of why my body didn't want that.
Yeah.
I
Mhm,
constantly had to be like, "Well, it's because of this and this and this." Whereas, it's just biologically, my body was like, "Fuck no, I do not want
mhm.
children. Children are not supposed to be part of my life. I am
Yep.
completely happy not having children."
Mhm,
You know, everybody does not have to live in the same way. And
mhm.
it's not to say that I don't adore and love the shit out of my nieces and nephews and my friends' children's, because I do. But yeah, it was just never in the cards for me, and, I mean, I couldn't be happier.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely think I mean, my dad has said to me many times over the years, "Courtney, you will never know true love until you have a child." And I was always like, "Mm, okay, I don't know if I agree." And my sister's the shit. She'd be like, "That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. Of course you'll know true love." Like that you like she's so cool. And she's never been like having a child was the most wonderful blessing. She was hard and it's harder still, it's every stage. But, then there's people like my mom and my partner's mother who it was a gift, and they loved every minute of it. My
Yeah.
mom, like, every stage of us like, my mother was pregnant with my brother. My father was on deployment for 6 months, so she was gonna give birth without my father there. She had 2 toddlers. My sister was 6, I was 3, and a German Shepherd that wasn't properly trained, living alone, managing that.
Yeah. It's a lot, and I've come across Facebook groups and people, I think there's TikTok groups of parents who regret having children. It's not that they
Oh
don't
gosh,
love
they
their
don't love their
children.
kids. Yeah.
It's just that they're like, "Fuck, if I could do it over, I don't know that I'd want children."
Right?
And that's
And
okay, and I think that's okay to have those thoughts. So anybody out
100%.
there, it's okay to be like, "Fuck, I love my children, but I kinda wish you weren't here right now."
Yeah. Well, Well, and it's funny because the mom guilt, that
Mm,
the wonderful, loving mothers that I know, they all have this
yeah.
heavy guilt that they carry around, that it's never enough, it's never enough. And, I think I definitely have the maternal instinct. I like to care for things, and what my body is telling me right now, and I'm having to be like, "Not now. We want a baby puppy dog. We want a tiny I want another rooster,"
Oh,
which was
the
the name of
rooster.
my beloved dog that was given to me. She was a gift. She was a Chihuahua. Again, never would have wanted a Chihuahua in my life, and now it's hard to be without one because she was the
She
fucking bomb.
wasn't like your standard typical Chihuahua.
She was yeah, she was
she
scrappy and
she was, but she
fat.
was fat.
Ooh, yeah, and that's my
She was
fault,
she was real
obviously.
cute.
She was
Yeah,
very
she was real
special.
cute. Yeah.
And I have a pup now, and he's lovely, but he's also not as snuggly as I need him to be. He's shy and traumatized, so he is scared all the time, and I
Yeah.
think another puppy anyway, I don't mean to go down that road, but that is what my body has been saying, is like, "We want baby animals. We want baby animals." Like, I don't having a baby, it just yeah, I never felt the pull, and I always would say, if you don't feel the pull, I don't see why I should move forward to do it, because I love spending the time I have, and not saying that I mean, mothers, they still are great friends. They're great. I get to, be of service a little bit more to my parents, be of service to the recovery community, and be of service to the family I'm now a part of. So, I,
Well, so you're not a quote unquote typical mother. You're an other mother because you mother other things. You
oh
animals.
yeah.
You're
Oh, I like
you're
that. Yeah.
I will call them your stepchildren just for
I know it feels funny, but yeah,
it.
it's good.
I mean, in a sense they are, but you
Right.
may not refer to them that way. And the
Yeah.
people you're mentoring in
Mhm.
AA and other
Mhm.
people. And there are many other people out there like Kamala Harris,
Mhm.
who her stepchildren call her Mamala.
I love it.
She never had children, but it's
Mm-mm.
not that she wasn't a mother. She helped raise
Yeah,
those children.
for
Dolly
sure.
Parton never had children. Betty White
She's
never had
was
children.
Betty White, Dolly Parton, Kamala are all mothers. I feel I have been mothered by them in some
Yeah.
way, by their
Oprah
music, by yeah.
Winfrey.
Oh, freaking
I
Rent-A-Furry.
mean, Oprah Winfrey.
True,
Um, like
very powerful.
Condoleezza Rice.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
So there are powerful women everywhere that have chosen not to have children for whatever reason, and a lot of
Mhm.
women that wanted children couldn't have children. My aunt
Yeah,
is one of
right.
those. I believe they tried IVF and they also tried adoption. It never worked, but she's a lovely person. She's a big part of her church community. She helps, mentor people there.
That overwhelms me, the idea of the women that want it and can't
Yeah.
get it. Like, that is I would be, and I said this for years, that I would be a surrogate mother for people if they wanted it. I don't think I'm a desired candidate because I'm an ex, drug addict and alcoholic, but I take good care of my body now, better. But yeah, that breaks my heart, and I've been very grateful for never. And honestly, I'm 45, and I do think that I am a decade behind where society kind of puts you, like, maturity-wise, because
Me
yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah, thanks. I love having you
Yep.
here.
Hmm.
So my 20s, I feel like, was kind of a black hole.
Yep.
So the 30s were like my 20s, where I made a lot of mistakes, a lot of mistakes. And then now I'm sort of learning and building on that. I would still consider myself in the late 30 department. So I worry that I'm going to turn 55 and I'm going to be like, I want a baby. I want a baby. Um,
And your
and
ovaries are just dried up little raisins at that
and
point.
yeah, I like to say that I've got one ovary and she's smoking and she's when Jonathan was holding a baby at one point, my partner Jonathan, at a party, I had one ovary go, hold on, wait, look at it. You like that? What is that? Like, she stirred and then she was like, never mind. I want to go have a nap. But
She's shaking a martini.
yeah, she still drinks. I don't drink, but she drinks. But yeah, I feel blessed that and I'd never been in a relationship with anyone who I was like, I think we should have babies,
I haven't either. And that
So
was part of it. My boyfriend asked me this morning. I told him what we were discussing today, and he said, we were just talking about it. And I said, I have never been with a man that made me want to have babies with him.
mhm. Yeah,
I think I would have been a decent mother. And I phrase it that way because
absolutely.
I am a very loving aunt and I love the shit out of my cat. Talk about true love.
True
I
love, I've
baby.
seen it.
I mean, it is unconditional love with my cat.
My
I
God,
build
I've
her
seen it.
forts every day. She's in a fort right now taking her morning nap.
Oh,
I
God bless
do
her.
everything for that thing. And I take
It's
care of all the
magic.
animals that come into my yard too.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
Yeah.
I have an image of you. You don't have your hair because you were in chemo at that time or just getting done, and you're sitting on the floor. And I remember you said it's afternoon playtime, so you went and sat on the floor across from Sacagawea, and you were trying to get her to play, and she was like, and then she'd be like, but I was like, play with her, because she really was like, I could take it or leave it, but she loves you. It's very obvious. She's, that's how
Yeah.
teenagers act with their parents. They're like,
I know. I
leave me
know.
alone.
Ugh, get off.
Enough.
But yeah, so I say a decent mother because I would have been there for them 100%. But at the same
Absolutely.
time, I think I would have been a little too smothering, perhaps the helicopter mom. I would have also
Oh.
raised them possibly very passive aggressively because that's how I was raised. And I don't know the difference.
I don't know. You might have tried to correct, change.
Well, so that's what I say. I said if I, had children in my 20s or 30s, it would have been bad. But now that I'm aware and I've gone through years of therapy and I've matured, it would be different. But I just feel too old to even, I can barely pick up my 20-pound cat, let alone, chase a toddler around the house.
Can you imagine?
But
a girlfriend of mine is in the thick of the toddler, and that is really
yeah,
great birth control.
my friend Julie, she's now pregnant with her second child at 44. So she froze some eggs and
I
decided,
see. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
for her. Good for her.
So
That's
she's
that's
like,
the
they're
thing.
younger eggs, but I think about her all the time. I'm like, Julie, Jesus, how are you going to be able to chase those kids around? Yeah,
I think when you're put in the position where you have no other choice, you rise to the occasion. I like to say I only teach an exercise class at the crack of dawn because I'm the teacher, and there will be a consequence if I don't show up. So there's no I don't feel like it. So it's kind of like that. I think kids are like having a jazzercise class at 5:45 a.m.
yeah. This morning the cat was meowing and Bo was like, I'll let her out. And I was like, no, she needs food. Like, that's just it. So I'm the one who, gets up and feeds her because that's my responsibility. I can't just let her.
Of course not.
I mean, she's going to waste away. She's only 20 pounds.
My gosh. That's so sad.
I know.
I love
It's
you,
like,
Emily, but I might have to call the animal folks and be like, can we keep this anonymous? This poor cat.
she's wasting away over here. She only gets fed 8 times a day. In all fairness, I feed her the prescribed diet. She's on diet food. It's just that she doesn't like to exercise one stitch. When she
Okay.
plays, she lays on her back and plays like this.
I get it.
And it's sheer laziness. So
How old
anyways,
is she?
Oh, she's going to be 7 on Thanksgiving.
Oh, so she is a baby. She's a little baby cat.
When I adopted her at the age of 1, she was already 18 pounds. So it's not on me that she was that big. I added a couple extra pounds.
Yeah.
And so did the pandemic. We were stuck inside together for 2 years.
Oh.
Seattle had a very strict quarantine. And then I got cancer. And so I was here all the time too. So I blame it. I do blame myself for whenever she meows. I'm like, yes, let's get you some food.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I think I would have made a decent mother, not an excellent mother. But I'm a perfectionist. I would have wanted to get it perfect, and I would have driven myself crazy. I just didn't want that in my life. Honestly, I like being child-free because it affords me the ability to go to bed whenever the fuck I want. I can kind of just do what I want when I want. I don't have that responsibility. I do have a responsibility, but it's not the same as,
Mhm,
having that human responsibility, even though I do treat my cat as, a human. She's a member of my family.
mhm.
And I do my darndest to make sure she's got an excellent life since I've chosen to take her in.
Mm.
Yeah. How about you? Would you been a good mom?
Oh, yeah. I think I'd have been a great mom. I would have a lot more strong feelings about how to raise a kid because I
Mhm.
really I have no but I think that when you're put in it, then you would have strong opinions, and I so the moms I know have very strong opinions about a lot of things, and I think that I would be just like them. I think some women become mothers, like my mom, and it makes them glow, like they have a glow. I
Yeah.
think I would have struggled because I've had struggle with depression. Well, and that's the other thing. Like, I'm grateful that I didn't get pregnant while I was out there doing drugs and alcohol because I certainly wasn't careful. And that makes me think that I'm actually not able to have babies. And so I'm grateful that I don't have that calling. I definitely love to nurture animals and people,
Yeah, me
if
too.
they'll let me. And I'll
Yeah.
tell you, working as a client service person in the industry really set me up for my gig now because I'm like literally constantly cleaning the kitchen, constantly thinking, okay, what can I set out for snacks? It's fun. It's like a game.
That just kind of brings me back to it wasn't your plan to find a guy that had 5 children and
Nope.
to jump into this
Yeah.
family. So tell me about that. How you met him and what your initial thought was when you found out he had all these children.
We met on Bumble and then we had dinner. And when we sat down just at the restaurant we just met, he was like, my kids normally read menus to me because I can't read. And he was putting on his like bifocals. And I was like, oh my God, he's so old. And then I go, or I was like, oh no, he can't read. I was like, so how many kids do you have? And he goes, a lot. And I was like, I knew he had a daughter, and then he told me 5 and their ages, and it didn't freak me out. It was just like, "Cool."
What are their ages?
We have, I believe, 25, 22, 20, 18, or is he not? No, 18 and 17.
Okay.
And, and they're all here but one of them, and they're all in school except for the one that graduated, and there's also one in high school still. So it is a wild ride, and it really, you meet someone and it was just like, oh yeah, this is, oh, okay, I'm in. Like, it was
Yeah.
just, it hasn't been easy, but it's just kind of, luckily there's no, uh am I gonna do this? I'm like, okay, how are we gonna make this work. And it's new for them too, because their mom, who I know, she's lovely. And well, of course, I know her, which is great. And she's really, she's very sweet and she's wonderful to talk to about how messy I'm like, dude, how did you do this when they were like babies, Because they are all close in age. So it's a lot of kids, but
That's a lot of kids.
right. I'm one of 3. You're one of 3
I'm
too,
one of
right?
3. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Um, how how long have you lived in with them in that family unit now?
I guess I technically I'm trying to think. He was trying to get me to move in 2 months in and I get it. Like you would like the help. I see. I'm not ready. But I do still have my apartment. It's small and it's special to me and it's when you live alone for 12 years and you have your own bathroom and then you join a circus and you share a bathroom with a lot of other giant men. It's been a little bit tough to adjust, and so I still have that apartment to go and decompress if I need it. But I'll tell you, it's just really fun. It's a lot. It's a lot of fun, a lot of like, what's gonna happen today? It's really a blast and I love them.
So you get up and you play mom. You make them breakfast and everything?
No. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, no. Let me no. I do a lot of dishes, which I love doing dishes, doesn't bother me. I also had started cooking, which has never been anything I've ever been interested in, but I'm like,
Now you're cooking for 5 or 6.
yeah. And it's really fun. It's like a puzzle, and sometimes they like it, sometimes they don't, and that's okay. My feelings don't get hurt, but it truly has been fun. I will say that if I had been doing this since I was in my 20s is where Jonathan and his ex-wife had them. I'm sure I would have different feelings about cooking. I'm like, it's so fun. I'm totally just new to it. It's just like me ironing when I was a little kid. I was like, it's not gonna iron itself. And it's independent work. The work when I'm
Yes.
cleaning, when I'm mowing the lawn, I love that stuff. Like I
Me
love it.
too.
I love it because I get my AirPods in and I'm just, so
Yeah. I know. I was out in my garden this weekend cleaning up all the leaves, and my boyfriend's like, "Let me help you." I was like, "Don't you dare."
get the fuck out of
Like,
here.
I love doing this. This is my happy place.
Right? And I feel bad because the kids will come in and be like, "Do you want some help?" And I'm like, "No, thank you. Please leave."
My boyfriend has 3 children,
Mhm.
and 25 to 19,
Okay.
and I just since I've never really been around children, and I'm actually never really around people anymore since I work from home now, I live
Yeah, yeah.
alone. I don't know how to have conversations. That's part of my problem maybe
It's
with
new.
this
Yeah.
podcast is because I'm like, "Oh, I have to talk to somebody every week?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
And
have
it's
to
good
ask
practice.
questions?"
I
It's
know,
good
right?
practice. But when I'm around his children, I'm like, "Hi, how are you?" And also because I feel like such a boomer, I don't know how to relate to this younger generation. The movies
Well,
that I reference
I
clearly lost.
know. I
Yeah.
know. Well,
I'm
and
just
it's I pride myself on being funny, but
yeah.
they are a tough crowd, man. I
Yeah.
have to work for it. And so it's kind of wonderful when I go home and I'm around my sister and my mom and anything I do, they're just like, and I'm like,
Same here.
"Meh."
Yeah, my family thinks I'm funny, but other people are like, I'm lost on them.
And so I've learned they don't like to be asked questions. And
Oh,
I generally like if it's morning, I don't say much to them. I'll say hello because try to treat them the way I wanted to be treated when I was that age.
okay.
Be present, be available if they need me for anything, but I
Mhm.
just, kind of
Yeah.
try to ask them as little questions. One in particular does not like to be asked questions. I can't help it sometimes. Well, let me ask you this, Emily. So, what if Bo lived with his kids and you don't wanna move in with him, so we could probably cut this out.
Oh, no, it's not that I don't wanna move in with him. I need a bigger space,
Mhm.
in order to live with somebody. I am very territorial. I don't like to share towels. I don't like when
No,
people take sips from my water.
that's
It's
fair.
just weird things like that I'm like, "Ooh, did you touch that?" Because now we have to wash it.
I learned that I love to share food.
Oh.
I love it. I love that when we went on a trip once, I don't know if you've ever had crumble, those cookies. It's maybe it's just an East Coast thing. It's like
You mean
massive
like an
cookies.
apple crumble or something? Or they're actually
No, it's a
cookies?
store called Crumble. Look it
Oh,
up. Yeah, it's dope. And
what?
we'd all gone on a trip and they kept coming over to me, try this one, Courtney, and they'd give me a bite of their cookie. And I was like, I love this. And I didn't realize it. My sister does not like to share food. And I didn't realize how much I really enjoy it. So it's really fun when everyone's like, try this, because I wouldn't survive here if I was a germaphobe. I'll pee on any toilet seat. I'll sit on any toilet seat. You hear
Oh,
me?
I'm a germaphobe. In fact, I do have nightmares about public toilets. I do.
I mean, if there's obviously stuff on it, I'm not going to sit on it, but I don't sit on porta potty toilet seats. I'll be straight there. I don't sit down on those. Yeah.
So it's not that I don't wanna live with him, and I've lived with boyfriends before. It's just it's a space thing. I have my
Hmm.
house, I
You
have
have?
my shit
Yeah.
everywhere. So
Yeah.
trying to make space for him, in fact, that's what I did all last weekend was try and clean out a closet so he can keep more clothes here because he winds up being here a lot more than I go to his house, probably because I do have a cat. And by the way, for anyone listening, her name is not Sacagawea. That is Courtney's nickname for her. Her name is
Yeah.
Lady Chunk. You can
Yeah.
follow her on Instagram.
And she's an absolute delight.
She's a unit.
I don't know why I called her Sacagawea. It just
You can
uh,
continue calling her that. I don't want anyone to be confused if I refer to her as Chunk.
that's right. I honestly was like, "What is her name?" Just because I remember telling you, I'm like, "God, I really wanna call your cat Sacagawea, and I don't know why." But
So
there it goes. Thanks for letting me do that.
so if Bo still lived with his children, um, that would be fine. I've dated men who had small children. My boyfriend in LA
Yep.
whom you know,
Mhm.
his daughter when we were dating was 6. I adored her. I wanted yeah, I wanted to be a part of that family. I
Yeah,
really did. I was like, "I can see myself being a stepmom here. It would be
for sure.
great." That
Mhm.
and that was at a time when I was still quite young, so I was everything was open, possibilities everywhere, and the older I've
Absolutely.
gotten, it's just the doors have closed, and I have just formed this,
You
uh,
know what
un
you like.
I do know what I like, but I've also closed myself off to so many potential possibilities. Not that I'm
Hmm,
not open to them, it's just that they can be there. They're just not as illustrious as they once were. They don't have
interesting.
that sheen and sparkle like they once were because I'm like, "Oh, God, I'm too fucking old for that."
I do think that it's so great when you see young mothers, because when I was younger, going through hard things, it just there was no question of, like, "Why am I even doing this?" It was like, "This is what I'm doing." There was
Yeah.
no question. When I was working a job in fundraising, I was starting to be like, "Why am I doing this? Like, I don't love it. I don't
Yeah.
love this," and so I just never questioned that when I was younger, in my 20s.
So I don't know. It'd be different if he did live with his children, that's for sure. If they were much younger. In fact, I have dated men up here in Seattle that had younger children, and
Mhm.
I decided then and there that I don't want to date anyone with young children. I
It's
just
hard.
did not want to do it. I said they've got to be preferably 16 or older.
Yeah.
Just I don't want to and my friend Becky always says to me, she said, you need to be someone's number 1 in life. You can't
Mm,
come second to their children, so you should
for
find
sure.
somebody that doesn't have children. And so I was
Mhm.
like, "Well, that would be great, but a lot of people do, and I don't want to pass up true love
Yeah.
just because they, had children and they had this other life. That's not fair to them nor to me."
No.
So that's when I decided. I said, "Children are fine. They just can't be too young because I don't want to take on that responsibility either, and I don't want somebody that's weekends are full of games and this and that because I do want to be a part of their life. And when they're constantly just with their kids and that's not something that I want to be a part of per se,
Right.
then yeah, it's just not a right fit. I'm great for them. You have kids and
Right.
100% you should be doing your kid thing all the time, but that's not what I want. So I
Right.
have to
Right.
think about my needs and wants there too.
For sure. I will say I did date a man that had 3 kids, and he only had his son at the time. Then his daughters came to live with him, and I fell hard in love with these girls and the son. I loved him too. And then he had pigs. Oh my gosh. So unfortunately, I think I fell more in love with that piece. And so when things clearly were not right for him and I, it was a different kind of heartbreak to not.
Yeah.
And they were young. The older one was 15 and the younger one was 8.
Okay.
And that,
Yeah.
oh gosh, I still, it's, it was hard to decide. I think about them on their birthdays. It's like
Mm.
I want to reach out, but I know that it's better for all involved to remove myself. And because he was overwhelmed and just wasn't a good fit.
Yeah.
But gosh, that was some heartbreak. That was tough because I spent a Christmas with them and it just was they were just wonderful, and they've had a difficult time. Their mom has had a difficult time, so, they were eager to have that love, that ma like, female love
Yeah.
and but you know what I mean, so,
Yeah. The
anyway,
maternal love.
yeah, so it is, definitely hard, and after that, I was like, I
It is
couldn't do young kids
heartbreaking.
again.
Yeah, yeah. I remember when my nephew was born, I was obsessed with
Were
him.
you?
Yes, and when I'd go to back to Colorado to visit, I would strap him on my chest in his baby carrier, and I would just take him for walks by myself, and
That's pretty
I
sweet.
was just so in love with this small baby little
Aw.
creature, and I wanted to be
Did
around him all the time.
did you try to get him to call you mommy? Be honest.
No, never.
"Psst, I'm your real mother.
I would
Look at
always
me."
say, "Auntie Em loves you.
Oh
Who's
my
the best
god.
auntie?" No, I'm kidding. I'm
Auntie
your mother.
Em, call me mommy. I always joke that I think my mom did that when my niece was little. I was like, Lindsay, I don't know. I would check. I think she's wanting her to call her mommy. Like, well, and what I'm really lucky because my sister gave me and my brother our names before she even was pregnant. And my brother, I was crazy Aunt Cha Cha, and my brother was Uncle Whiskers. We don't know. It's just funny. So they call me Cha Cha still, and I love it. I love it. And I've tried to bring it over to this side, not to the older kids, but like the younger. There's a lot of young, and I'm like, you can call me Cha Cha, and they're always like, and I'm like, I know that it's weird to be like, you can call me Nini, you can call me Booby Boo Boo. No, so anyhow,
Yeah.
so yeah, I
Cha-cha.
love. I know, crazy Aunt Cha Cha. I did. Sailor would. That's my niece because I was living with my sister when Sailor was 2, and I can remember her in the morning would be wandering around the hall. She'd be so mad at my sister and not getting ready for school, and she'd be like, "I want my Chach. Where's my Chach?" And I was drunk, so I was no help. But yeah, she's a
Oh
doll,
God,
and
how
watching her
cute.
grow up, that's been another blessing of that wasn't the
Yeah,
plan. Wasn't the plan for me to live on the East Coast in Blacksburg, Virginia. Never the plan, but man, it's been cool. I get to watch my niece turn
that is
into a real
rad.
snooty teenager, and I love it.
Yeah.
She is so spicy.
Yeah, no, I have to say it's really nice dating a guy with kids because I can see that relationship he has
Oh,
and the
yeah, and that's hot.
pride, and it's really cute. And they're Jewish, so every Friday is Shabbat, and he calls them, and he's, Friday check-in with his entire family, his parents, his brother, his children, and they do this
I
thing
love
called,
that.
yeah, he does this thing, roses and thorns. What are your roses
Yeah.
and thorns for the week?
Oh, I
And
gotta
he
meet this
asks
man.
everybody. And when he asks me, I'm like, oh God, I don't know. I told him once, I was like, thorn is you asking me this question because I never know how to answer it.
And that's it. And the rose is that now the question has been asked and then we're done.
Yes,
Yeah,
that is my answer. So yeah,
that's
no, but
awesome.
it's really sweet to see him, and he lights up when he talks to his children, and
I know.
it's the sweetest thing. And he was meant to be a dad, and
Yeah.
I've met his wife. She's lovely. She was clearly meant to be a wonderful, loving mother, or his ex-wife. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's not.
Okay.
He's
I do that all the time. My mom does too. She's like, "What about Jonathan's wife?" I was like, "Oh, she's
yeah,
in with her
yeah.
other husband, mom."
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
get it
she's
best.
remarried. But yeah, she's lovely, and clearly she's just a wonderful mother, and those kids adore both their parents. So it's wonderful. And I see the same with my brother and his wife. They're fantastic parents, and all of my friends who have children. It's just
Yeah.
it it brightens my day to see the people that were meant to be parents,
Yeah.
because I'm like, oh, it's so wonderful. And then I've got friends who weren't, and they have wonderful, lovely lives too,
Hmm.
because they've chosen not to for whatever reason. Either
Right.
yeah, for whatever reason, they've chosen not to have children, and they love their lives too. So I think it's just, hey, what's in your heart and soul?
It's
What does it
true.
tell you?
Yeah.
Because we have to stop listening to what society expects of us, because for women, it's a complete double standard.
It is.
They tell women it's your primary purpose in life. Being childless is something gone wrong, or something's broken with you. I was at a baseball game once, and a woman asked why I don't have children, and I forget my answer, and I was like, "Because I just don't want them." And she said, "Oh, you'll
Mhm.
probably regret that." And I was like, "Go fuck yourself."
You about to regret sitting next to me, Toots.
Yeah. And for women, a lot of people say that we owe it to society to be
Wow.
breeders, but for men, it's
Bachelor.
different. Like, that they're focusing on their success and their career, and the bachelor thing, living their best lives. They can have kids anytime,
Hmm.
because
It's
technically
true.
they can, but there are studies shown that the older a man gets, like, their sperm also shrivel up like our eggs do. So that sperm isn't quite as healthy in their 50, 60, 70, 80
But they
as
can
it
still do it.
once was, but they can still do it. But there is a modern shift with this Gen Z population, they're
I
completely
dig it.
rejecting these norms, and I dig it too. And they're concerned about the climate, the earth, and the economy for one. I think that was another reason I never had a desire for children, is because I just
Scary
never
world.
made that much money. And
Mhm.
I was looking up some stats. So the cost to raise a child right now, I think from birth until 18 years old is between 310 and $400,000.
And nobody, like in my case, my folks had to continue to bail me out of things.
Oh yeah,
Thanks, by the way, um, through my 20s and my 30s, as well.
it's true. I was talking to Bo about it the other day. He's kind of in a transition, and I was like, well, the thing is, the way the economy is right now, it's likely you're never going to stop supporting your children. And if you have the means to do so, then it will help them. But
Yeah.
it's tough. I mean, the economy's crazy right now. Daycare costs exceed tuition. So you can
That's
have a dual
insanity.
income, but then you're going to be paying so much money for daycare. So then, do you have one parent stay home?
Yeah.
Um, and then there's the single parents of the world who
Oh
just,
my
oh
gosh,
God, I don't know how
unbelievable.
they can do it. Yeah, salute to all the single parents out there.
Oh
You
my
are
gosh.
you are true heroes, working
I
working
just
at least one job. And
right?
I mean, we should have a day through a national, not just national, but worldwide day of the year where we
Mm.
fucking salute the single parents out there because
I
they
mean,
are doing the work.
and they think of the worst things that you and I have gone through, that we've
Oh my
like
God.
breakups, the most cancer. People have done these things with babies and children on their own.
On their own, no one to support them. No one to support them. Yes. Illness.
I just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Right.
I can't, I have no words.
I don't either. I can't express it. Whenever I see a single or hear stories about single parents, I'm just in awe, to be
Yeah.
honest. They have been given a gift of patience, resilience, energy. It's as if so whether or not you believe in reincarnation, I feel like being a single parent is the last step on this
Mhm.
earth
Mhm.
before you leave for the last time and you're free
Yeah.
to be this just celestial being because you have done all the hard work that there
Off you
could
go.
be. Yes, off you go to live amongst the stars
And the and
because you have paid your dues.
and the more likely that it's a woman, and more likely that low income, and more, I mean, it's just, yeah. I mean, and I know with Jonathan, he did the single parent thing for a while. He had 5 kids and he was working full time running a business. So he was in survival mode for quite a few years.
Yeah.
And then the housing market crashed, and he's a contractor. So he had to file for bankruptcy raising 5 kids. Unbelievable. But he still had help. His ex-partner was still around. I remember going through my first really awful breakup with Elijah, and how painful that was and how scary that was. And I was like, how do people go through these things with kids? How do you do it? And one part of me is thinking maybe it makes it, forgive me, a little bit easier because you're just like, tough shit. I have to focus on them. Like, this can't. And maybe because I was so able to just wallow in my, oh, I'm terrified, like alone in this big city. What am I doing here? So, yeah, I'm in awe of single parents, and I'm in awe of teachers.
Yes. I don't
I
know how
just,
teachers can do it.
you couldn't pay me enough to be a part of that. And I don't know how. And I'm grateful that there are people that want to be teachers, even though I feel, and granted, like, I'm not a mom who interacts with teachers on a regular basis, but I know, what I do know is that it's the most fucking awful, thankless job. Like,
It is.
everything's your fault. Like,
Teachers, when they get these fresh faces in their classroom and they're malleable still, these young, impressionable minds that they can help
mm,
nurture and teach and educate.
there's got to be a give back. There's got to be a payoff to them that
Y- yes,
that
for the
makes it worth
teachers
it.
where they go home at night and, I can imagine that they're exhausted and they're frustrated. But then, there was that one spark in the day when they actually got through to a child
Mm,
and that kid clicked it in their mind. Something happened, or they a kid smiled at them because they helped them, and that's just
Yeah.
gotta just make your heart burst.
Mm. It's
So
unreal.
I imagine it's all those little wins that keep the teachers going
Yeah.
because kids can be really shitty too.
I mean, yeah, the meanest things that have ever been said to me have been said to me by children.
Yeah, usually teenagers.
If you ask my mom, I mean, I feel like I have to call my mom sometimes, be like, "Tell me more about when I was 16 and all the shitty stuff I did, please. Tell me about it, because I need to be reminded that that is what it's like." I mean, I remember my mom being like, "Courtney, could you just put your dish in the dishwasher at night after I've cleaned the kitchen?" I'm like, "Of course, why wouldn't I?" And I never would. And I would always I'm like, "Why don't I just do it?" It's because your brain, the stress of existing as a teenager is it's so hard. It's so miserable. I hated being a teenager. I just felt like I didn't understand life or whatever. But yeah, I like to be reminded, because I too would be like, my chore was to vacuum the stairs, and then you can go out. And I'm like, oh my God, vacuum the stairs. Oh, Dad, I gotta go. You know what I mean? And now
I
I'm like,
do.
it's a piece of cake. So
Yeah, yeah. No, it's true. We had chores every weekend, and I
that was
loved
it.
doing them because then it was like done, done, done. Now I can actually go do stuff.
I would lay around and hate the fact that I had to do it instead of doing it. So I was that kind of kid. And now,
Nice.
like, it's so easy. And also, I
Yeah.
live in a place where there's a dishwasher. There's also laundry. I'm really coming up in the world. So I'm like, yeah, I'll do everybody's laundry. Let me fold it for you. And I will say, I want to make this clear. We have one of Jonathan's sisters works and comes and cleans the bathrooms twice a week.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
she cleans the kitchen, whatever needs to be cleaned. So that's incredibly helpful. So I'm not working miracles here. I am just
That is helpful. That's
right.
really nice that you can have that help
Oh my
because
gosh, yeah, because
I
it's
hate cleaning up after other people. I'll do
it's
it
not
because I
bad.
want it clean to my standards,
Mhm.
but my boyfriend leaves shit lying around all the time. And I say to him, I said, "Can you please just put that in the sink if you're done with it? You don't have to wash it. Just put it in the sink. I'll take
Why
care
not
of it."
have him
Or
do it all the way?
well, he
Mhm.
doesn't wash it to my standards, or I just please put it in the dishwasher. That's what it's there for. Just empty it, put it in the dishwasher. So let me ask you this. I know it wasn't your plan to possibly ever have children,
Mhm.
and you may wake up one day and be like, I missed my opportunity. But how much do you love now having a family? Because you're now part of a family, this huge family, and you basically have children in a sense.
In a s
In a sense.
I feel very more auntish with them because
Okay.
they're older, and because I've not been a mother, so I don't come at them with a motherly, like,
Yeah.
they have a mom and she's fantastic.
Yeah.
They've got tons of wonderful aunts, beautiful, wonderful, like incredible people. Because my partner is one of 10. That's right, I said 10, 5 girls, 5 boys, and
Woof.
yeah, it's a lot. So his parents have 48 grandchildren.
Oh
My parents
my
have one.
god.
I know. And so I'm waiting for the moment to ask them. I'm like, will you just call them grandmom and grandpop when they're here, please, please? But when they came for Thanksgiving, because we hosted Thanksgiving 2 years ago, my parents were sitting in the living room, and all the youngins circled around the table to color. So my folks are just sitting there with all these grandbabies at their feet. It is wonderful. My problem has been that I am introverted, and the need to tap out is something I'm very like. It took me 20 years to realize that's what I need in order to like be my best self.
Yeah.
And I've had to navigate that, and that's been tough because introverts know it's not because you don't love the
Right.
people. I need to, if I'm around people, I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to keep playing a part or acting
Yeah.
a certain way, and no one's asking me to do this. This is just what I do on autopilot, and it's I
Same.
guess a defense mechanism. Yeah. And so I need to be somewhere where there's no one to talk to me, and I can just be like, "Eh." Sometimes I really just got to do that.
Mhm.
Like I come out of the shower and I'm just like, or I don't even get in the shower. I'm just
Yeah.
That's
I
where I
will
start to have
s
thoughts.
I will sit and stare.
Mhm.
I will just stare out the window. I'll go on my front porch and just stare.
Beep.
I'm the same way. I'm an introvert.
Mhm.
Once I've been around people, usually young children or children in any age, really, I do have to come home and decompress. I need to tap out for
Mhm.
at least a day, and recharge.
Yeah.
That's how I have to recharge. I just need
Yeah.
quiet. Yeah.
Well, and I spoiled myself for a lot of years because I was fighting the "I'm gonna die alone" and but I felt empowered after having all that time to really consider, like, what if it's not in the cards for me to pair off, and
Yeah.
this could end, and but I really found a superpower that I was like, I'm okay. But I spoiled myself. I literally did not go out. I didn't do anything I didn't want to do. Sometimes it was just about going home and being with my dog, and that's all I wanted. And
Same.
like,
Yep.
even with my family, I would be at the lake with my folks and the family, and I would tap out at least twice a day to nap. I would say nap, but I would really just be laying in bed and playing Sudoku or just something so my brain would just chill the fuck out. Like,
Yeah.
just chill out, Courtney. You're getting all worked up about nothing. So,
So let me ask you this key takeaway from your life without children. What do you have to say? Good, bad,
the,
anything. If somebody's listening and they just might want to hear what you have to say about it.
the opportunity to fully accept and love yourself, that's what I went through. I mean, it took me a long time and it's not perfect, but I am such a fan of myself, and I try to treat myself the way I treat the people I deeply love, and then that makes me pleasant to be around, and it definitely takes down my road rage, and it's a luxury. I consider it a luxury that I'm able to, you know, like, I dated myself for quite a few years, and sometimes, I mean, when I first moved to Virginia, I wouldn't have been a friend to myself. I wouldn't have dated me for sure. And now I would do both. I wish I could marry myself because we are a blast. I'm my biggest fan, and that's why Jonathan and I really hit it off because he's also his biggest fan.
Oh,
So
I love that.
we both like think each other. So yeah, I feel like you can, because I definitely wallowed. I definitely was sad because I was a romantic and I just really wanted, someone to love, someone to look at me naked, like, and I just, thought, okay, well, if that's not part of my journey, then I just need to be accepting of it. And it took a lot of time, but it's a decadent luxury to be able to like get to know yourself. And it doesn't feel great at first, but, putting that time and effort in, like, has really changed me as a person and my ability to love others. So, and also you can be with so many animals all the time. All the trips I got to take to see cool animals, like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
for
that's
sure.
good. How about you, Emily? What's your takeaway? Good or bad?
Well, I love yours, getting to know yourself. That's
Mm-hmm.
huge. Yeah, I would say my takeaway is similar to that is, if you're young and you're questioning, or maybe you're in your mid-30s and you're questioning, especially for women, because we do have, an expiration date, freeze your eggs or not.
So they
I
say.
would say if you have any doubt, if you're kind of 50-50 on the fence, go ahead and freeze your eggs if you're women, if you can afford to do so. But
Right.
for me, listen to yourself, get to know yourself, listen to your heart and your soul, tune out society, what the government is telling you, tune out what anybody else is telling you, the church, your friends, your parents, everybody. Tune them out. What does
Mm-hmm.
your heart and soul tell you about
Mm-hmm.
whether or not you want to be a parent to children? Because it's a
Well,
huge step, it's a big responsibility. Once you do it, they're there, and hopefully they'll be with you the rest of your
once
life.
you do it, it's over. You're dead inside already. Sorry.
Yeah, that's it. I
And
mean,
then also once you don't do it, There you
That's
go. Who's
yeah,
gonna take
so
care of you when you're old?
and that's another question, and, I feel that we take care of each other.
Ooh,
Friends,
absolutely.
you
Absolutely,
you
yeah.
gotta find, your core friend group. You just have to live the life that you want for yourself. Don't live
Yeah.
somebody else's life, what they expect it to look like. And
Mhm.
especially if you're dating somebody and you wanna get married, find out if that person also wants or does not want children. Yeah. But stay true to yourself.
Mm. Listen to that small, still voice.
That
That's what
small,
sucks is,
still
like, sometimes
voice.
that voice that you don't hear it because your own brain is like, but there's always take a moment. I like to take baths and without sound and a candle maybe and just sit there and let my brain talk to me. So, but listening to that still small voice is helpful if you can hear it. But folks, Emily and I, we're in our 40s. We're pretty much almost dead. It took us a long time to learn these like simple life skills that I just wish I could have understood them in my 20s.
Me too. I wish I could go back with the knowledge I have now.
Now, what would you change anything?
Yeah, I would change a lot.
Oh, you would?
Yeah.
I don't know that I would because I wouldn't have been brought to where I'm at today,
Mm,
in the life that I never would have asked for, but that I
right.
love.
Yeah.
It's almost like you don't even know really what you really want, 'cause when this showed up, I was like, "Oh, yeah, we're gonna be doing this for sure, like, this makes sense," even
It's
though
true.
never in my life.
I wouldn't be sitting here right now had I changed the things that I would like to change. But
Mhm.
there are definitely some things in life that I would go back into my teenage years and say, yeah, I want to change that.
My nipples, they really still look great, and I have to say, like, that is one great thing because 'cause I've heard it from many women that, man, the nursing destroys your nipples, and I'm grateful because I got single and sober in my 30s, so dating was hard, and I hated my boobs until I started dating in my 30s, and now I'm very grateful for them. They keep me young.
Well, then I think that's perfect. Cheers to rockin' nipples, Courtney. So, for those who are questioning children or not, like Courtney just said, if you don't want kids, you're going to have rockin' nipples
Mm.
for the
Rocking
rest of your
nipples, lots of
life.
sleep, and the opportunity to spend time with yourself and with all the animals you've ever wanted to spend with. I don't know if that's a priority for any of you, but it is for us.
Yeah.
So
And if you do want children, my God, go out
go
and do
for it.
it. Just
Do
do
it.
it. Have
Do
fun
it.
with it.
Yeah.
Love those little stinky buggers.
Yeah. I love that shit.
Love
Good for you
them.
guys.
Just be the best goddamn parent you can be.
Fucking parent the shit out of those
You
kids.
raise kids that other people will be looking at their kids and thinking, "Damn, I wish my kids were like that."
My kids are trash. That person's kids.
That's
Be that
right.
person.
Yeah, be that
Yeah.
person.
Be
And on
that
that
person.
note,
Mm.
Courtney, till next time.
Till next time, Miss Emily. Love
Bye.
you. Mean
Love
it.
ya.
Bye.
Bye.